everybody. Welcome to YAAS episode. Insert number here. I have lost track. I don't know. I think we're in the double digits, and we're the high. What is time? What is life? What is one?
9.
Well, that's the high single digits. So I was close.
9.
Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us. First thing we're going to do is we're going to switch over to Annika, and they are going to talk about some technology stuff.
We have a podcast now. We are in podcast form. As of right now, when this goes up, we will have up to episode 5 up on Spotify, Google, and iTunes. I'm still working to try and get it up on Amazon. And we're also on Red Circle, which is our hosting platform. They host us for free. Not sponsored, but yeah. If you want to do a podcast, do it with Red Circle, because it's free.
All right. It's me again, talking about charity. This one's a little rough. Content warning on self-harm and suicidal thoughts for the next minute or so while I chat. So for the month of December, our charity, our chosen charity, is To Write Love on Her Arms. It's a charity that is pretty near and dear to my heart. I have my tattoo that does say love that covers up my scars. And I thought it was important. This has been a really rough year for a lot of people, and the holidays are never easy. These holidays kind of even more rough, I think, for people. So it was kind of important to me to highlight the struggles that people have with self-harming, suicidal thoughts, and addiction. So To Write Love on Her Arms is a help organization that gets people in contact with those that can help them get to a better place mentally. When you donate to us, as always, part of that will go on to our chosen charity. So this month, support us so that you can also support To Write Love on Her Arms.
Just to piggyback off of that as well. To Write Love on Her Arms, people who like Supernatural, Jared Padalecki loves this charity. It's one of his chosen charities as well. Just so people can look in. It's Jared Padalecki loves this charity as well. So yeah,
He's a good one.
Yeah.
to piggyback off of talking about Jared Padalecki, his brother is my orthopedist. Okay.
Oh, he was my mom's too. He lives in Austin.
Yeah, no, because he's at my ARC.
Yeah, he's at the ARC Far West. So, recap. Okay, we have 2 things to recap. We're going to recap the last episode, and then we're going to recap our Lost to the Ether hour of the last time we tried to record and play. So, the last recapping. A recap. Robin was pulled into the portal. It's the elemental plane of Earth via a long, large, sticky tongue. Robin and Pan were sucked into the portal. Their friends rushed after them. Zareth was confused as to why their friends were rushing after this one singular person. And after some hours of searching and being in this weird, it's not a hellscape, but it's just dirt and rocks, and these mountains are coming sideways and hills are going where you're like, what is going on? You found the cave. Shenanigans were had in the dark because Whistler cannot see in the dark, but Whistler decides to go first. And Whistler fell on their butt. And long story short, there was a giant rock lizard that had taken Robin and Pan and was going to eat them, but then friends showed up, destroyed the giant rock lizard, and Robin passed out, and they brought Robin, and everybody came out of the portal. Esther shot up the fairy fire to let the Emerald Protectors know that they had found the portal. Robin was bathed in the river, and all of the giant rock lizard mucus was bathed off of their body. And then they were laid to sleep in Pan. And whilst everybody was sleeping, I think Finland, I can't remember if it was maybe Finland and Aster were on. I can't remember who it was. I know it was at least one elf. was on guard when the Emerald Protector showed up.
It was both of us.
I think it was both
Yeah.
of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody else. Okay. I knew it
One
was
who
at least
told me
one
to
else.
sleep did it.
Yeah. So the Emerald Protector showed up. They closed the portal to the Earth plane, and that was what happened in the last episode. And then they started recording for about an hour, in which our party, with their new companion Zareth, who cannot join tonight. Oh yeah, Bostet has gone off to look for these special mushrooms and herbs to help with the plague in her homeland. So she has told people that she is going. She's like, I think they're near here. I'm going to go look for them. The party knows that she has gone off. As they were walking to their next portal, so they were headed west, Zareth was asking questions about why they would kind of go into this Earth portal to get one person, and is this person extraordinarily important? And then these friends were trying to explain compassion and friendship to Zareth, which he is now just following behind them, very confused, going, I don't understand. And he was talking a little bit about where he was from, which is the Astral Sea. Whistler asked some questions about the Astral Sea, rolled a natural 20 on her religion check, and knows everything about the Astral Sea but does not understand it. And that's about what we lost for that hour. So we'll actually pick up with Whistler trying to explain the Astral Sea to all of her friends.
Full existential crisis, by the way. It's
So Whistler, you know all of these things about the Astral Sea, and how are you trying to explain this to your friends?
Well, and at this point, I'm hugging Whistler, trying to get Whistler to
Yeah.
calm down as well. I remember that much of
yes.
Yes, Whistler's kind of shaking, and like,
that. I remember I'm being like the security blanket. That's
yeah,
all.
Yes.
Aster is being the weighted blanket right now.
Just arms kind of tucked in, like, so it's bad. Bad. C is bad. Just keep looking back at Zareth like, I don't get it.
And you said, so it's bad and it has aliens.
Very alien. Has many aliens. So alien. Just so alien.
So alien. Is this making sense to anyone?
No. And I've known Whistler for
I will
so
also
long.
remind you that I had somebody roll a die. I had somebody roll a d6, and Finland rolled, and Finland rolled a 6. So I still have that marked down. So, does anybody else want to try to figure anything else out the Astral Sea?
Could I roll insight to try and see like if any of the phrases or words that Whistler is trying to communicate like ping anything?
Sure, just make a general intelligence check.
See bad
Okay,
aliens. This is what you got to work with.
See, the problem is if I roll a general intelligence check, I'm not as likely as to roll something good.
Well, insight would be trying to figure out what Whistler's mood is, and her mood is very disturbed. That you got. Trying to pick up on what those words mean. That's an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll try.
Can I try and figure something out about the Astral Sea with my background?
Sure.
Of, yeah.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I rolled a 2 and I have a -1 intelligence. Thank you.
That'll do it.
Jack, you were just very worried about Whistler.
I'm
We're
very
very worried
worried.
about Whistler. But Aster, you have the Far Traveler background, is that correct?
What? Oh no, I meant that by background I mean because of my race and the backstory of Aster technically, because of the Eldar and elves.
Yeah.
Could I potentially know other stuff about?
It would
other
still be
things?
it would still be an intelligence check, just a general intelligence
Gotcha.
check.
I have a better intelligence than Jack, so that's a dirty
Most
20.
people do.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. I have to find the information. Give me a second.
The information that is giving
Let me-
Whistler an existential crisis.
Come on now.
I don't have it. It's in the kitchen. I don't have my Dungeon Master's Guide. My dad has it right now.
We keep my Dungeon Master's Guide in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen?
Yeah, well, that's where my dad
There
worked.
we go.
I do recall that in our last episode, there was something about slavery, because I think there was also an insight check on Zareth where I was like, you don't seem legit.
That's right. It was
I'm pulling.
it was like Sparta.
information.
They were like Sparta, where they like go out and they conquer and then they enslave people. So we
Right.
didn't quite. Not everybody got it, because I know Finland doesn't realize it. But they're basically was talking about the workers. They
Yeah.
were trying to be like, you could get your workers to trade with other realms instead of conquering them.
Right. I think only Aster and Whistler picked up on that, and that's part of Whistler's like,
Yeah.
everything is wrong about this.
Yes. Well, these whatever it is, the astral sea, the inner planes, we can call it whatever we want, and it's the astral sea because I'm the DM. That's what I want it to be. So it's like this big void space where thought becomes reality, and reality can change in a heartbeat. And there aren't really planets, but there also aren't cities. And there's these giant, like, living ships, and there are worlds, but they're weird. And that's where Zareth was talking about, like, these giant floating cities. And, like, yeah, the creatures on the astral plane, they see things differently. Here's the thing you also get with your dirty 20, Aster. A lot of creatures from this place have psychic and psionic abilities.
Is Aster telling us this? Telling us all this information?
I think at the moment they wouldn't, because they're just trying to calm Whistler down. They're like trying to like, it's just a lot of stuff coming in at once, and they're like trying to process it all as well. But they're just like, their main goal right now is to just calm down Whistler.
She just keeps like holding her head like, don't let it in. Don't let it in.
Are we in danger from the astral sea? Like, do we need to?
Zareth from behind you kind of goes, "You're always in danger from the astral sea, whether you know it or not."
Sorry. I cannot
Nailed
wait.
it.
Yeah, like that impression was.
Nailed it.
I'm not bad at voices.
The podcast listeners aren't going to believe he's not here. That was such a good impression.
I do such a good, deep, rough, masculine voice. I mean, I don't know what.
Who said he wasn't here? But there he was. Was that a recording?
There it was.
You have a soundboard with
12
like
pack.
programmed responses. You
I
could
have 12 packs a day and drink about a fifth of whiskey, and you'll get a voice like mine. So that is the information that you all have on the astral sea
Well then,
as you continue to walk to the next portal.
well, that's
So, like, I just, like, as we're walking, I gotta say that Jack is, after talking about, like, and describing our homes and everything, Jack is actually, like, feeling a little homesick right now. And, whereas normally you would see her, like, taking up the rear and, like, making sure that everyone is safe and, like, listening out for stuff. If you're looking at her, she is kind of, like, just, she's not quite as head on a swivel as she usually is.
I mean, I think all of us.
do I notice that?
With that.
Do you notice this?
Yes, I think you do. And I think, Pax, you wanted to
Robin is pretty much always looking at Jack.
Sorry?
I would ask to Jack, hey girl, you okay?
I miss home. See, I mean, I know Mom's home, but, like, our Mom's back at the village and everything, but I'm kind of missing what home looks like and like the big house that we stay in and that sort of thing.
What does it look like?
It is, so we live in the and so like a lot of it is made out of stone. We have I live with my grandma, and I live with my aunts, and I miss some of the people that I was around. Like I miss my little brother is supposed to be like choosing his career soon, and I'm really excited for him.
How far is it?
Oh, it's a ways away. Like, I would say a good like 2 weeks of traveling. Like from Rindenhurst, it's 2 weeks by wagon.
Wow, that's pretty far. Well, do you have any pictures?
Oh, you don't want to see
Drawings?
it? Yeah, I mean, I have some stuff back at the room in Rindenhurst, but I don't carry it with me. Like it's just like little doodles and stuff.
Whoa. Yeah? Well, I hope you're showing when we get back and tell me more about your people. Like, I'd love to hear about it. I bet
They're
your
really
grandma's really beautiful.
She's not. She's not, but like that's not something that I'm weird because I wanted this like eyeliner and stuff. But here's a little.
The eyeliner's not what makes you beautiful.
But like Jack digs into her pack and like pulls out this like little cameo of a person, and it's like an ugly person, and like the tusks are kind of like gnarled and stuff at this point. And yeah, and it was my grandma.
Wow, I love her skin, so beautiful, and her tusks look amazing. What a cool, like, I love the texture on them. She's bad. Look at her eyes. She looks like totally badass like you. That's so awesome.
She is really cool.
She is beautiful. Yeah. I bet she's really strong, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she actually is usually like in competition with like one of the other like one of the high-ranking officers. Like whenever we have our own feats of strength and that sort of thing, like it's usually grandma or the corporal, and it's just really fun to watch like her win a lot.
Wow. That's so rad. I love that. That's so cool. I hope I can meet her someday.
I mean, you'd have to come to the village. She doesn't really leave it. Mom is one of the few people that like leaves. Would you want to come visit?
I mean, I like to go lots of places.
That'd be cool.
Definitely. The mountains are beautiful. Your people are beautiful. There'd be so much to see, to take in. I mean, maybe there'd be an artisan there I could like intern with. You know, that's what I do. I go around and study under different artisans and like learn how to craft. Like, there's probably some pretty rad stuff to learn.
I think so. Like we're pretty neat. And like Jack is just kind of like mind blown because like her mom never brought anyone home with her. Like only her family traveled with her, and only her family went home. Like Finn, have you ever been to the Greyface tribe?
Yeah, a couple times. I think.
Okay.
Just like a couple times.
Yeah.
think like I started off, I was near you, but then I saw like you guys were having a little tete-a-tete, kind of drop back to keep my eye on things. But eventually I kind of worked my way back up to where you're walking, and I just sort of shoulder bump you. Like,
I mean, if we ever go to the mountain, I lived in the mountains, the other side though. I lived where all the cities were and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
On the other side, yeah. That's where.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. I've been there a few times. It's really hard to sell some of the stuff that we make, because like a lot of times in the city, like in the big cities and that sort of thing, they look down on the more rough textures of some of the cloth that we make. But that's actually where I ended up, like that's why I ended up like painting on some of our stuff, because they would once I put paint and flowers and that sort of thing onto the fabrics, that's when they would sell a little bit better.
I believe it. I mean, past Dauntless, we like the finest stuff. So.
And Whistler over here is like, I'm from Renton. Whistler's like, I'm a local.
I fully understand.
Howdy.
I mean, I lived in Rendenhurst for 2 years. Traveled a lot before that. Made a band. Band is not formed anymore. We are clearly not together, but...
Disband.
Huh?
Disbanded.
We disbanded the band. Due to creative differences, but that's besides the point.
Is Whistler feeling better at this point? Is Whistler still having this existential crisis, or have they actually kind of calmed down a little bit?
I think listening to everyone talk about home is like, okay, home on the material plane where everything is not alien and it makes sense. This is great.
What Aster will do is like hold Whistler and cast like prestidigitation to like warm Whistler, because I can do that. Prestidigitation's amazing.
So Whistler's like, okay, warmth. I like warmth. I'm home.
Good.
Material plane.
Everything's
Rendenhurst.
fine.
Not that far from Rendenhurst. We're in the
Crystal.
Emerald Wheel. I know these forests. Home. Safety. Yes. Good.
Not
These
alien.
are the thoughts.
Not alien.
Not alien. Things on the material plane life on the material plane where things mostly make sense most of the time.
This is as
Sarah,
close
we
to
can
meditating
roll
as she gets.
I'm sorry.
I've gotten
So
Wait, is there like a drink that Whistler likes? Like whiskey or hot tea or
Whiskey.
What does Whistler like to drink?
She likes whiskey. She can't say the word, though. Somehow
think-
she's managed to avoid it.
I take my alchemy jug out and I use it to make a gallon of is it a gallon I can make of here?
of
I can
a
make
liquor, I think it's less than
2
that. It's
gallons.
2 ounces of liquor, I think. Okay. Wait. I'm
That's
sorry.
a lot.
I can make whiskey 2 gallons a minute of a liquid. So I take out my
No,
my
it's
jug.
different. But it's different liquids have different things. Like it's 2 gallons of water.
Oh, I
But
see.
things like things like alcohol, poison, stuff like that,
4
those
gallons
make less of.
I can do 1 gallon of wine or 4 gallons of beer. So do you want to split the difference there for whiskey, or is whiskey more on the wine side?
Whiskey is going to be more concentrated. Yeah, whiskey's going to be more concentrated. So you can do like, let's say, let's see, you can make, you can make half a gallon of whiskey.
Okay, I make a half a gallon of whiskey and I pour it in a little wooden cup that I have course and carved by hand, and I give it to Whistler, and I'm like, hey buddy, you need a drink?
Let's say
Yes.
for the hard liquors, you can make half a gallon. So wine's a gallon, beer's for, like, liquor is half gallon. Okay, so Whistler, you now have a cup of whiskey in front of you.
Yes. And just like toasting her silently and just look. This That seems great.
So you are being warmed from the outside and the inside right now.
I imagine that Aster is still holding her, so it's just kind of like taking the cup with her arms still sort of trapped. And like, oh, yeah. Glug, glug, glug.
You see
Anyone else
Whistler's
have a
mouth
drink? I've
open.
got more cups.
She just opened her mouth, and the whiskey just goes right down her gut.
I just realized. So everybody turned into robots for me, and it was destroying my ears.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I had to close it all up. I had to close everything for some. Oh. Aster declines.
Yeah. I'm on duty right now.
I'm on duty. Yeah. No, it interferes with my being able to pay attention.
Whistler hears that and is
Maybe
like,
tonight.
oh shit, did I do a bad?
Aster declines. Aster is not one
Robin
to drink,
refills Whistler's
so-
cup and offers to what's the dragonborn? What's his name?
Zareth.
Sarah. He's just like,
There. That's what I just need to get him blackout drunk and we just drag him the rest of the way, and then you want to have to answer for him.
Oh, we're gonna dragon? We're gonna dragon? What?
he is very heavy.
Dragon.
Dragon the dragon. We can tie him to Pan and drag him. Whistler, I refilled your cup.
Anybody?
Carry on.
I need anybody who is paying attention to their surroundings to make a perception check. If you feel like your character is paying attention to your surroundings, if you feel like you are drinking whiskey or talking to your new companion, probably don't make a perception check.
I'd say that Aster is.
22.
Okay.
Oh, well, it wasn't much better.
17.
Okay.
Perception. 10.
Okay, Aster, you're still holding on to Whistler as well, so you're talking to Robin. You're like, no, thank you. But Finland, you were the only one that got higher than 18. You hear up ahead in the air direction, and as well as I can do, as good as I can do Zara's voice using air quotes here, I'm not the greatest at animal sounds, but you hear kind of like some sort of
I
distress
believe there is a bear in heat nearby.
growling and some sort of weird, but it's multiple, and there's like different pitches, and
Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
from the direction you guys are headed in.
Oh,
you guys
like
are going
directly
west.
in front of us?
Yeah, like a little bit to the southwest, but yeah, you guys are going west, and it's a little bit south, so you might pass them or
Bring
not. You
up
don't know.
my hand in the universal sign for everybody come to a stop.
And that's not what it means where I am, but okay.
So Aster keeps walking and bumps into that.
Whistler keeps
like
walking
bumps
with
into
them,
everyone.
just
In that case, I do the universal. You've come to a stop too fast, and your mom throws the arm out. Right.
Oh, yeah, mom hand. I know that.
On hand.
The mom arm. Yes, I'm very aware of the mom arm. Aster is very aware of that arm.
When you, there's something up ahead. I will go look.
Would you like to stealth, or are you just going to?
No, just gonna go.
beats washing a
Okay,
cat.
I'm gonna draw my bow.
Nat 21.
Oh yeah, you're not 21 dice came in. So is that for stealth or perception?
That would be for, since I'm not stealthing at all, it'll be for perception.
Okay, as you come in, you see there is ahead of you a herd of owl bears, and they are all. Yes, you were half right. There is a herd of owl bears, and you can see them. They are all kind of in distress and huddled around. You're having a hard time seeing because there's a bunch of big furry feathered bodies kind of huddled around, but some of them kind of move, and you see there is a much smaller furred feathered body that is stuck in the what happened was when the rains struck, what had happened was rain, and so there's like mud, and this little tiny owl bear got stuck in the mud and brambles and is unable to get out. And so
Is
the
it an
herd,
owlet bear or an owl cub?
you could be an owlet bear or an owlet bear cub. It's either an owlet bear or owl bear cub. I will let you, either one.
Everybody vote below.
Yes.
We'll make a
what
Twitter.
I
We'll make a Twitter post about it.
Information I found says owl bear cublet. There we go. It's an owl bear cublet.
Mix the both of them. Sounds good.
Mix them both. So there's an owl bear cublet stuck in the mud and brambles, and the rest of the herd is cannot figure out how to get him out.
I'll kind of rush forward, not too fast.
Okay.
Can I help? Is there
They kind of turn around and look at you, and you see feathers go like puff out, and there's this big owl bear that like kind of like rushes for you a little bit and like throws out their wings and like throws out their arms or walking on.
No, that's okay. I would raise my minotaurs. This is unfazing.
Yeah,
I just.
And again, I'm not the witness to these animal sounds because I can't either make a bear or owl combined. I am. So they're like, whoa, whoa.
I plant my stance. I put my hands up in front of me, and I'm like, "Friend, help!"
Make an animal handling check.
I don't plan to handle the owl bear, but okay.
Just to see how well you can communicate your intent to the owl bears.
15.
Okay. All right. Odds or evens?
Even.
Odds. Oh, right.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 16. So I rolled
Then we
evens.
go with what Ollie said.
No, you said always go odds. So this owl bear takes a few more steps towards you and like starts like opening and closing its mouth. Is like walking towards you, and then there's a few more owl bears that kind of like back it up.
Do any of us like
behind it?
hear the noise of this now that Finland has gone?
We're not that far.
Yeah, you guys can hear Finland saying something, and then like.
I back up just a little bit. I kind of try to point to the distressed child and
it's
just
like,
again be like, help. I'm like absolutely not touching any weapons, which are clearly on me.
Yeah, is anybody going towards Finland?
Yes. Like breaking free of Aster's grip and going for it.
Yeah.
Pulling a whistler.
So as you guys run forward through the woods, you kind of bust through the trees and you see Finland going, help, help. And you see a pack of herd of owl bears behind, like all like puffed up and walking towards her. And like, you guys can kind of see, and there's a little one behind there that's like, woo, woo, woo. Like making distress me.
I repeat the baby owl bear's sounds.
Okay, and then, well, as soon as Whistler does, I'm gonna do the thing again where I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself. Look kind of like a baby owl bear and stand me in front of Whistler. To try and see if this
Make
will
yourself
work.
look like an owl bear, but you can't
Can I
kind
not?
of
I clearly need to take this vaudevillian nonsense on the road.
you kind of
Where do you think we are?
you kind of round out your face and like make your skin kind of this and you like make yourself look a little shorter and a little stockier as Whistler's like woo, 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 woo. And you have a bunch of really confused owl bears looking at you.
Yes.
They don't understand what's going on, and their intelligence isn't great. And so you can see one owl bear has not walked towards you at all. They are staying near the baby.
Well, now I'm just like a tiny little bird person is what I've turned into at the point.
Yes.
Well, if you've done
I'm within sight of everybody, but I'm staying towards the back. My arrow is basically, I see that we are in no immediate danger, but I'm not going to discount the idea that these creatures could like turn against us at any point. And so like I've got the arrow notched, but it's pointed at the ground.
Okay.
Whistler is going to, since Aster got kind of small and squishy, Whistler's just going to keep making the sounds of the cublet and just kind of like gently reach down and pick Aster up and just kind of move them to the side.
Still technically the same height.
Oh, well, you're even taller than me.
Yeah,
I'm still,
So
they just
still,
are a foot smaller.
literally just
yeah,
picking
I am
up.
now a 5 foot, like, tiny bird person.
Okay, so
That's
we're
what
about
I
the same
became.
the same height then, so it's okay. So still
I mean-
just picking up and shifting to the side, trying to like indicate, look, I'm making baby noises and I can pick the baby up. Whistler's not
Big
smart.
5 foot baby.
Okay. Whistler, one of the owlbears who's not one of the larger owlbears and not the baby, but not the baby, but one of the like medium-sized owlbears comes up and just kind of is smelling you, kind of sniffing, and comes up and
Ooh, ooh,
ooh, ooh,
ooh.
ooh.
We're gonna have a full
It's
conversation
kinda
now.
like- yeah, it's the same thing. You're like tax receipts. You know what you're saying.
4th of
And,
July.
It kind of comes up and it just takes its head and it headbutts you
Huh.
right in the stomach, like not hard, but just kind of.
Yep. Okay.
Then
Pat.
it takes its beak. It's like it grabs your pants and starts tugging.
Oh my. What did you say, Whistler?
I'm not a minotaur, to be clear. Just following along.
So Whistler is being tugged along. The other one of the larger owlbears has not moved from the baby, but this owlbear, it's
Whistler
like
kind
a
of
juvenile.
passes in front of me.
It was like
Can I grab
this
her?
owlbear teenager is pulling Whistler along by the pants.
As Whistler kind of goes, because they were behind me, so I'm assuming they're moving past me. I'm gonna kind of grab onto her wing.
Wing
You have
arm.
hands? Great.
I got hands, yeah.
Oh, she's got hands.
You have hands.
Yeah.
All right.
I just also have feathers.
Freaky.
Esther's gonna like try and like
Never
sidestep
followed
like
you. You're like a
around.
bat, really.
Esther's gonna like try their best to kind of like sidestep around to try and get like a better look of the baby.
The baby is very cute.
Same.
That's why I'm like I'm like a 5 foot bird person now, and I'm just gonna like shuffle my way around to try and see what's going on.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
wanna see
what
how
if the
far
baby's
they let us
successful?
get.
Do I need to roll perception or anything?
No, you guys can see in front of you. This is a very tiny. Let me get my information. The owlbear couplet is a tiny monstrosity. So is little. It is like the size of a regular sized owl. Is the size of it. That's why it's so stuck. And if everything else looks like a regular owlbear, round face, pointed tufted ears, 4 legs. I wish here. It's not going to be great. Like that.
I'm really wondering how it's stuck.
It's stuck. What it is there's like vines with brambles and thorns on it, and mud that the baby is stuck in. The mud has started to dry, and it's wrapped around in brambles. So it was a
Okay.
mixture of a thorny vine.
If I reach out to like kind of grab some of these vines and reach for my dagger, what?
Okay, let's see what. Okay, what were you trying to say, Robin?
I was gonna see if, using my small stature and my like adorableness, if I would be allowed to approach the baby owlbear, because I'm not one of these big, hulking, scary power women or people.
Yeah.
I'm just this little adorable cat person, so I was hoping they would let me approach.
Yeah, I will say the larger owlbear, most of the owlbears are all large. The only ones that are your size or smaller is that teenager and the baby.
Yeah.
All the other ones are large. They are the size of
So I was gonna
black bear.
actually try to approach, like actually try to, like
for
walk
everybody
up
that is trying, everybody except for Whistler, who is trying to approach the stuck baby, has to make a. What's we're going to make this? We're going to make this just a general wisdom check.
While I'm being
my strong suit.
while I'm being dragged in Aster's voice.
Nature, just 12.
No, don't eat it.
The only one.
Don't eat it.
Dog dice.
Aster is gonna keep their distance. Still bird.
While Whistler is being dragged.
17.
What did you get, Robin?
15.
Okay. The idea behind the wisdom check. The idea behind the wisdom check is you guys have to figure out the best way for you guys to approach. So, Finland, you figure the best way is to attach yourself to Whistler. You're like, I'm with her. You deemed her safe. I'm with this person. And what you do, Robin, you get off of Pan, and you will go on all fours for this. So you're even smaller, because you're on all fours. So I'm going to roll for the mother owlbear. She rolled a 14, so both the 17 and the 15 are higher than what she rolled on her insight. So as Whistler is being led over with Finland in tow, and Robin on all fours, making themselves as small as possible, Pan is back with Jack and Aster, and you are allowed to approach the baby. The teenager, let's keep calling it a teenager, the juvenile, that has led you here, Whistler, is like, woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! Woo! Ah!
And you look there, and you look at, if you look at the paws of the mother owlbear, they are bleeding as they have tried to scratch the and pull the brambles out of the way, but they don't have opposable thumbs.
I kneel down. And see, kind of suss out the situation with the vines and the thorns.
Okay, Robin, what did you want to do?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on the mother bear.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that. And that is touch, so as you reach out, she does kind of like give you like a huff, but you just you just kind of hold your hand out like this.
Can
and
I
let her come to you? She just kind of like.
Can I help that by just kind of making baby cublet sounds next to Robin?
Yeah. So yeah, what you do is, Robin, you just hold your hand out, and she just kind of comes over, and she just puts her head underneath it, and her head is way bigger than your hand. Like it's like.
I heal her for 6.
Okay.
Does she still look hurt?
Pretty good.
Because I can do lay on hands if she's still bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like very minor cosmetic scratches on the pads of her feet.
Okay.
That have been bleeding, and then those kind of heal up. There's still dried blood and stuff on her paws, but she's like, at this point, she's like, you can tell she's very tired, and she's like, they're all tired. You figure that they've been here probably all day or all night trying to get this juvenile out. So, Finland, you said you were trying to suss out what is going on. So this child looks like it is underneath like a thorny bush, and then and there was mud that was happening. So they are stuck, both the drying mud turning into the clay and then into like baked earth, and then there are parts of it that it is like up in the bush. Like
okay, I'd like to start by
caved in by the bush.
I want to cut the baby away from the bush. Basically, take my dagger and at least be able to. We can get away from the bush.
Okay, so you take out your dagger, and you see the mother owlbear does the boom, and like fluffs out her feathers, and the juvenile kind of clacks their beak at her and stands by Whistler and like bumps Whistler
Yeah.
with their butt.
Yeah. I bump it back.
You don't know what this means, Whistler, but it's like looking at the mother and it's like bumping you with its butt.
Ew. You doing good? In Aster's voice.
This mother owl was like, Whistler, how's that animal handling?
I cannot wait to find out.
Okay.
Oh, 13.
Okay.
I wonder if I should offer the mother owlbear a drink.
Well, okay. With the aid of this juvenile owlbear, who is kind of understanding like, a little bit more what's going on because they rolled a higher like intelligence and insight check than the rest of the owlbear, kind of understands that you're there to help. So with their aid, kind of like are communicating through like hoots and growls.
Hoot, growl,
Sorry.
growl.
Hoot, growl. Shout out to Dimension 20. Is communicating through hoots and growls, and the mother owlbear just kind of gets close and is watching so closely to what Finland is doing. Finland, because these are just like brambles, it's essentially like a blackberry bush, or, some kind of like thorny bush like that. You take out your dagger, and it takes a little bit of time because you don't have a saw, because this is wood,
Right.
so it's hard to kind of hack with any kind of accuracy. But I would say over the next like 30 or so minutes, you're able to kind of like with surgical precision cut away vines and branches and stuff to a point where, Robin, yes, would you like to do something or say something?
I have a saw. I have wood carver's tools. I have all these tools.
Oh,
I have
that's
carpenter's
perfect.
Tools. I have carpenter's tools, wood carver's tools. I got smith's tools. I got thieves' tools. I got all the tools.
So you,
I'm
well,
like,
I
wait,
get okay.
I got a
So
saw.
once I get down and I start working at it, and I realize that a dagger's gonna be a little inelegant, I look at the mother, I look at the teenager, and I'm gonna point over to Robin, right, and then be like, "Come
Robin
here."
very carefully comes over.
These
What-
these brambles
First of
are
all, I
are
take
very
the
tough.
alchemy jug.
We don't need drunk owl bears.
Yeah, I can get my saw, but maybe I can loosen up the mud first with some of this whiskey, and I pour the whiskey out on the ground all over the baby.
Oh.
I like
Okay,
Whistler's
so
sad.
back.
you're creating
Whistler's sad. Why?
Aster is having the time of their life watching this unfold, standing off to the side as a bird. Out of all the things I could have turned myself into, I'm a bird.
So, Robin, do you hand some sort of saw to Finland?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
go get
Finland,
the
you are
saw.
handing a
and-
small. It's not like a big handsaw or anything. It's like this big. It's like essentially what you would use to cut down branches from like your tree or whatever. So it's just like a little saw like this, but it works much better than a dagger, which is used for stabbing. It has a serrated edge, that is important. So as opposed to 30 minutes, it's about 10
That's right,
minutes.
you gotta bring the
of sawing.
carpenter around.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes of sawing, and with Robin's help, whiskifying the ground, turning the ground back into a little bit more mud, you are able to create a hole. The mother owlbear still cannot fit through, and the baby is very tired and very weak, so it's having a hard time moving on its own. So you're either going to have to try to coax it out or reach in and pull it out.
I'm just okay. Hey Finn, my skin's a little tougher than yours. Do you want me to come over there?
You have a good point. Yes, I'll hold this. I'll hold it as open as I can. Basically, hold everything back so that you can get in there.
Okay, so at that point I go ahead and I like lay my my bow and arrow down on the ground. I make a big show of it, and I actually like army crawl on my belly over to the bush to be as small as possible, because I'm assuming I'm about the same size as these owl bears.
You are much smaller, actually. They are technically a large creature. You are a medium creature. So they are the size of a black bear. So they weigh at least 500 pounds each.
Okay, yeah. So, but I'm still, I'm still.
I will say, over the last few minutes, the herd has realized that you guys are not there to hurt them. That you are there. They are cognizant enough of their surroundings and like life and things like that they realize that you are not there to hurt them. You are there to help. So they are much more like allowing you to pass through.
Yeah. To be fair, I was being slightly intimidating earlier, so I'm being careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I go ahead and I reach in and I grab onto. I'm looking for the scruff of the neck, so I can just. I can drag out by the scruff of the neck, hopefully.
Yeah, and so you get a few scratches on your arms. You know that I'm going to say you take 2 points of piercing damage as you reach in, and the thorns and stuff are piercing your skin and scratching. And you reach in and you manage to get behind the scruff because it's the size of an owl, so the baby is like, you know, a little fluff ball. So you manage to get behind the scruff with one hand and like under the feet with the other to support its like hindquarters and its butt. And you pull back out this dirty, tired, sort of probably dehydrated baby cublet.
And
I
the wild Lars.
Oh yeah, and there's Lars.
Robin,
there's the elf is everybody.
Can we make water in your special jug?
I can literally come and do prestidigitation and clean the baby.
Well, I think water for like imbibing as well.
Yes, but I can clean the baby too. I am really far away.
Yeah, so y'all are cleaning the baby, and I'm holding the baby like in my arms and looking to Robin. I'm like, hey, can you heal this little one as well?
And soon, I would say you do not hold that baby in your arms, because as soon as that baby is free, you have full on mother owlbear coming over to you and wrapping the baby up in her arms and just holding it tight. Like, no question, that child is hers, and she may or may not allow you to approach. I don't know.
These things bite.
Esther,
So I would, so yeah, I give the baby over, and I'm still holding out like my arms, and I kind of like gesture at the mother's paws, and I'm just like, I'm trying to, I'm making like soothing noises. I'm just making like soothing noises. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let Robin closer to the baby so that the baby can be healed.
Okay. Pax, can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I saw you change to headset, so I want to make sure you can hear it. Okay. So, is Robin trying to approach the baby?
Robin is definitely going to get their hand back queued up with that same like gentle healing glow that the mother hopefully recognizes, made the boobies better earlier, and is going to try to heal the baby. Yes.
Okay, she rolled a natural 20 on her intelligence check. So, she's still holding the baby. All I have is like skeins of yarn near me to pretend to be the baby owlbear. So she's like holding the baby with her non-opposable thumbs, and like just she doesn't let go, but she just leans it down towards you. So you can touch its head, essentially.
Very gently, and everyone in all my friends can see how effing delighted I am being able to touch this adorable baby. And I very gently stroke the baby's head and heal the baby for 10 points.
you hear. Let me see what the baby's max hit points is. Its max hit points is 17 hit points. So you heal it almost to full, and you hear a soft little like, ooh, ooh,
Ooh.
The baby.
Whistler immediately repeats it.
And the mother is like licking it and like trying to get it clean and stuff. And you see one of the other large owl bears in the herd comes over, and the owl bears all kind of shoulder and push you all out of the way. As the owl bears all kind of, they're like, get the fuck out. They're like, you guys, as they surround the baby, and they're all doing like, they're all communicating with each other, where they're all like putting their heads in, and there's like licking and like rubbing their heads up against the mother and the baby, and that sort of like familial herd bond of like reconnection. So you guys have all been pushed. Either you have been pushed back or pushed down, where you have to crawl underneath their legs to get out.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the image of 7-foot Jack backwards army crawling now back through the giant paws.
You're going underneath an owl bear, and you're like, okay, here I go.
I made the right decision not going over there.
Can Whistler climb over them, just cooing like a cublet the whole time? Like, please don't eat me. But, whoo.
You're covered in feathers, and you have a beak, so you already kind of look a little bit like an owl bear. So they're like, nah, okay, whatever.
Well, I guess that was
So they kind of at this point, and the herd, there's probably about 8 or 9 of them all told. In this owlbear herd, and I don't know what owlbear society looks like, but I've decided they live in herds because I want to. Because it's cuter that way, damn it. And
can I suggest that instead of a quack for our curses this episode, that they be like hoots?
Hoots or growls. I'm happy with it. So at this point, the owl bears start heading further south. They start moving. The baby owl bear has been put on its mother's back. It is riding on its mother's back. You can see its eyes start drooping, and it falls asleep on its mother's back as they all walk on all fours as a herd heading south. That is the roll that Finland rolled. It was 6.
Finland turns
6.
Around.
Distressed owl bear cub.
So are there any dropped feathers at all?
There are quite a few.
I'm going to gather them.
Get feathers.
Yeah, I want to gather them.
You see, there's like, you have to kind of go in, you have a lot of smaller ones from the baby that were like stuck in the thorns and stuff. And then you do get a few of the dark brown feathers that obviously had come from the mother as the mother was trying. And some of the other adult owl bears that were trying to scoop the baby out of the mud. And some of them are covered in mud, but you still have them, so you can clean them, or you can have Aster prestidigitate them. So you probably have like half a stack full.
Finland turns around to look at Zareth, who's just been standing on the outskirts, doing nothing, saying nothing, not even bothering to help, and just pointedly looks at him and is like, everyone counts. Yes?
He goes,
Okay, but that was like the best impression you've done of him. Like, that was a great sound.
This is like, you not eat those things?
I take like the one with like the feather with the most markings on it, and I actually like go ahead and I braid it into my hair.
So it's a very dark brown with like some like the very dark like chestnut brown feather in your hair now.
Very fetching. All right, I guess
the owl baby.
That was your random wilderness encounter for this game.
Number 6.
Yes, number 6. I will not tell you what numbers 1 through 5 were, because you might roll on that table again.
What color was that baby owlet cub?
It was a lighter brown than the adults. It was more of what would be like
fawn.
No, darker than that. Kind of like an umber
Camel.
like a burnt umbery kind of color, dark tan. I don't know, dark khaki.
At this
All
point,
those colors kind of mixed
dropped the
together.
disguise because they realized that this disguise was useless.
But adorable. And for a moment, we had two birds.
I mean, for
Instead
the
of
whole
two
time,
or two
Aster's
elves.
like, as the bird, Aster's like this, like with the with like kind of feather arms, like being like having the arms up like this the whole time, trying to mimic whatever.
So,
she can.
Robin, I will assume you get back on pan so you can do your sketching.
Yes, working on
So you can
it.
sketch and write. Okay. Are you guys heading? Yes. Are you guys heading now? Going still further west to
Correct.
the next
Portal.
Wow, we both had the
to
same
the
idea.
portal.
Hello everybody, welcome to the break. First off, we got all of our announcements done at the beginning. That's a given, you guys watched all of that. Just a few moderate things that I'll be talking about right now. One of the things is I got a new background. I don't want people saying that, oh, it's blah blah blah, there's a new background. Yes, it's new. Well, not new in that I moved furniture. But other thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about, our next one-shot. It will be Christmas themed. That will be for only level 5 and level 10 patrons. So if you want to watch our Christmas themed one-shot and get exclusive content, I recommend doing that. You can just become a patron for this month and you'll have access to that episode for however long you want. You can view it. So that's fun. Next up, we have Patreon shoutouts. Big thank you to Adam Eiler, Helen Gore Laird, Claudia Dranowski, and John B. for being level 10 patrons. We really appreciate all of your support, and we look forward to more people supporting us in the future. If you would like to get a shout out, all you have to do is become a level 10 patron. And if you are any level patron, that is either our $3, $5, or $10 patron, your name will be featured at the end of the video as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the break. I will leave you guys be. Our next episode will be going up December 30th. And then we will also be doing the OOC, which is going to be coming out the day after this goes up, so December 17th. Where we will basically be talking about what happened during the show. So it'll be like our after show talk show. And that'll be going up on Twitch. All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/YAAShow. That's YAASHOW. YAAShow. Give us a follow there, and yeah, just watch us talk about random stuff live on Twitch. We hope you guys. We might be doing other stuff. We might play some video games or something else. We'll see what else we want to do on Twitch, because world is endless. We will eventually be moving to some live shows as well on Twitch. Just playing Dungeons & Dragons because it's fun. So yeah, that is it for the break now, for real. I lied about the other time. So yeah, I will see you all in a little bit when Past Me is here. So yeah, have a good day, guys.
To the portal.
So you guys continue this hike as you go. Now I have to go in a roll 20, so give me just a second. Copy and paste. And that was, of course, all theater of the mind because you don't have a map for everything.
I'm just glad that no one was like, let's just murder these owlbears.
Look,
I've already-
I don't start fights, but I will finish them.
All right. You guys continue walking, and you come you're coming from down here. That's where you are, in these woods. There is a large tree that has been downed in front of you, not by anything malicious. It's just a tree. Sometimes trees die and they fall down. So yeah, this is the new map that you're on. So, what would you like to do?
Can I roll for perception?
What are you trying to perceive?
Any danger that might be around.
Sure, make a perception check.
I would like to support this check.
Okay, so roll with advantage.
Sweet.
Aster's gonna write a song. While we were walking, Aster's like got the loot out doing what birds do.
So we've got like some artistic endeavors. Robin is drawing. Aster is composing a song
About owlbears.
about owlbears. Yeah.
Jack and Finn are.
I actually got a nat 20.
Okay, so this is what happens, Jack. You know it's autumn now because just a few days ago there was a big celebration celebrating the transition from summer into autumn. So it's not cold really yet. It's getting cooler, but the weather most days are still in the 80s or the 70s as far as like temperature wise. Fahrenheit. You guys were in the States. I can't do the math that fast to calculate it to Celsius. I'm sorry.
Eight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's well above freezing. Except you feel, Jack, a gust, a blast of freezing cold air. It just covers your entire body. It's like you were on the top of the tippy top snow-covered mountains of your home. And it just like blows past you. And it's coming from, where are you? It is coming from this direction, this way. So it would be upper left is the direction that this gust at wind, I will say, it's like a gust of wind just came like from this direction heading this way.
I just want to know, since I'm sort of directly in front of Jack, is this wind going behind Jack, or are we both getting it?
You're both getting it because you're the one that helped her.
Okay.
But Jack gets the full
Right,
front.
brunt of it.
Jack, yeah.
What is that?
It's cold.
Well, yes, it's cold. Thank you. Yes, it's cold.
And like,
Where is this coming from? These air.
I'm I point in the general direction. I'm like, I'm blaming that direction. And I'm gonna go ahead and I take out my shield.
Okay.
I don't prep my sword yet, but I do take out my shield just so, because I'm like, it's weird, and I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
draw my axe and fall into axe shield formation and stand basically slightly behind Jack.
I will say that this coldness coming from this direction does not abate.
Okay, we're walking like
there's
into
a huge gust of wind coming toward you. Yes.
Everyone,
It's like every once in a while there'll be like a flash of cold, and then you just feel like a little bit of wind, and then it's like, oh.
everyone, stay on your hoof. Something is ahead of us.
Aster's gonna take their little capelet and be like, wow, I like. I have
Alright.
short sleeves on.
All right,
Take my cape and be like,
I will let you guys move your characters. I'm the only person I'm gonna move is Zero.
Alright. So wherever you go, Jack, I'm just staying kind of at your shoulder.
I'm assuming that,
We're going this direction, by the way. So if you
Yeah.
wanna-
yeah, like, I'm coming. I am not trying to follow any particular of these paths that are here.
Yeah.
I'm going in the direction that these blasts of wind are coming
Right.
from.
I think if we get out here, we'll be in the clear and in the right direction.
Again, the only person I'm moving is Zareth, and they're just staying behind everybody else. And if you guys notice, Zareth does not have. He's got armor and stuff on, but yeah, he looks really uncomfortable in the cold, like very uncomfortable in the cold.
It's cold.
Robin, are you moving or are you staying where you are?
I'm trying to decide where I want to
I like how we just forged a path. We're like, look, actual paths. No, go through the hardest dense tree area.
I mean, like,
No, because if you
I am the unstoppable object that against so many, or I am the immovable object against so many unstoppable forces in general. So like whatever. This time I'm
As
moving.
you guys step out here, you do notice there is a path going like clear north.
Right. All right.
Where
Maybe
you are. And there's a semi clear path going northwest.
I say we keep going northwest because that is generally the way that the wind feels like it's going. So
Yeah, I'm stepping over the tree trunk
It's the
and
tree
headed
trunk.
in this direction.
All this talk about
Okay.
cold made me cold. I had to put my hoodie on.
it's getting real.
So Jack and Finland, as the first two through, you see a small, as you start coming through this path here,
Yeah.
you see there is kind of a cliff, not very tall, it's not like 50 or 80 feet or anything like that. It's maybe 20 feet. It's not even a sheer cliff, it kind of slopes, but it is very much like there's grass, then there's like some stone and mud, and there's grass again. And when you look up, you see another portal. There are, coming out of the portal, ice flurries. There is snow coming out of the portal. And it's a very concentrated area right around the portal. There are snow flurries. That they melt when they hit the ground.
Right.
But that's what you see.
We have found the next portal, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is ice related.
Anyone got fur?
I
do.
no.
I have my little capelet, and I'm like wrapped in my, like I have my arms wrapped in my capelet. That is it.
Do you want me to run in?
Maybe
No, that's what I'm saying. So, I'm going to say that since only one of us is prepared for the cold, that
I'm prepared for the cold. I'm just not wearing fur.
I mean,
and like I'm just like hush, cause and like I just kind of like put like a quieting hand on your shoulder, like that's not what I was asking. Because I'm trying to keep Robin from running off into another portal.
Also, Whistler.
I
So I was rugged that for them. That
now
wasn't my
that we are
fault.
this close, Aster, you can.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk, well, because we're still too far. We have to go forward more.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So everybody, keep an eye on Robin and.
Okay. From here. Okay.
I didn't run into that portal. I was literally dragged in by head home.
After 10 minutes of debating you about not going in.
Okay. I'm going. I cast Fairy Fire.
All right.
Into the air.
Up in the air. The lute is strummed. These musical notes swirl above you and turn into a giant cube of blue, glittery air. It is very appropriate because Aster and Whistler being the two closest, you do see, if you look in, you see a plain of almost pure white landscape ahead of you.
Ooh.
It's cold.
I would like to actually take a look around at the area around the portal to see if anything maybe has come through, like if there's evidence of anything that's come through.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna support Finn on that.
14.
I will say I have to preface this a little bit because I had this encounter planned before whatever episode of Critical Role was aired in which Matthew Mercer had Intelligent Yeti. reason I'm prefacing that is I don't want anybody to think I'm stealing his idea. I am not stealing his idea. I am stealing Judd Winnick's idea.
I was clear about what idea is stolen.
So, if you've never read it, there's a comic called Very Wee Boy Genius, and in it, it's not Yeti, it is the Sasquatch, are in fact sentient creatures who have speech and all that stuff. So I'm stealing and I'm turning it into the Abominables, but then it happened to Kirk Roll, and I was like, well, I'm not changing it because, damn it, I had this idea a long time ago.
Well,
so, throw it out there.
Now we're stealing from
Not, yeah, not stealing from Matt Mercer, cribbing from Judd Winnick from a comic from about 15 to 20 years ago. So, just throwing that out there. So, you actually see, when you start looking, there is a spear, Finland. It is rough-hewn wood, and the ice, the tip, like the actual spear point, is made out of like a rough, almost crystal, clear crystal.
I go over to it and I sort of just put my hand around it and I look over at Jack and
Also,
yeah,
it is very big.
it's very big. Excellent. I think
It's like you put your hand around it, it would be like normal, like it's not like you could just hold it with one hand. You would have to use two hands in order to like throw it.
oh, perfect. Then I definitely do. Like I sort of heft my axe over to like one arm, and then I put my hand kind of halfway around this giant shaft. This sentence got away from me.
Sarah was
Jack and I'm like, I think that we have company.
well, when Sarah was describing it, I was like, it's girthy.
It's girthy.
Because of Mark.
It's girthy.
There's a whole reason why I thought about that. But
And I apologize. I had an ADD moment. Sarah, what is this that Finn is trying to show me?
A spear.
It is a spear.
Thank you.
a girthy
Like a
spear.
javelin.
I apologize. Like my ADD just like hit at exactly that moment.
A simple weapon of a long shaft with a pointy head at the top.
That crystal.
It's a Yeti dish.
crystal, hard crystal.
It is a Yeti spear.
As Finland
It's a
doing
Yeti
this,
dish.
I will say, as soon as I cast the fairy fire, Aster is going to like kind of look into the portal just to like kind of see if there's like any thing in it.
Oh, like if you can.
Yeah, make an
I can
investigation
see
check.
people or something, like creatures.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's a 19.
I'm staying out of tongue range.
Aster, you look in. It is almost, it's termed snowblind because there's so much snow. It's like there's an ever blowing blizzard in here. But you do see kind of coming up, all of a sudden, there's like a dark shape walking closer to you in the snow. It's a big, like, hulking, long arms, just kind of a gray shape. That's all you can see for right now.
Aster, are you able to change the color of your fairy fire?
I
Like red. Warning.
well, not now because I already cast it.
Okay. That was my question.
What
Cause
is
all right.
Caution or beef?
So as soon as I see that creature, I'm grab Whistler by the arm, look at everybody else, and be like, "We should go now."
I'm going to back up to the tree line. The
Go over here.
closest tree line, yeah, like get into the closest tree line.
I take Whistler over here. Come on, we go deep in the tree. And I
But-
in the tree.
Okay,
You doing good?
I don't know.
I'm gonna climb right up that tree.
Sarah asks you, Sarah's like, what's wrong? What's in there?
I saw a figure in there, and it is big. I don't know how far it was, give or take, because it's like there's so much you can't really like judge distance. But we should go. There's better people to do this than us.
Also, we should definitely we should definitely be back so that we can see what it is, and not be standing here and be surprised.
Or we could try and go up the cliff and wait. Because I don't know how tall it is.
I left my crampons at home.
I like the idea of us waiting in the tree line and waiting for the portal closers to come by, because I don't want the portal closer, because we've already sent up a verifier that it's safe, like that's the safe color, and so I'm not willing to.
We had decided on colors feel safe. I thought we just threw up them and we're like, hey, here's the thing.
No, we had said that like blue was safe, red there was danger, and then yellow if it was the place that those automatons came from.
Oh.
That's the portal I wanted to go into. I don't want to go into that lizard tongue portal. I'm not running into this crossroads. Just to be clear, my thirst for danger is not endless. It is my insatiable curiosity that drives things. Curiosity about sentient robot.
Curiosity killed the cat. Lizard.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, no.
Brought them back.
Brought it back.
That's perseverance, brother.
Okay, so you guys
I would argue that the half orc brought them back.
Fairly argue. Yep.
A
You guys
resurrection spell brought them back.
Sarah?
head. Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, we're
You guys head. It's okay. You guys see
ahead.
a head poke out of the portal. It's a very big head.
I don't like
It is covered in white fur, and the head is about the size of, I mean, it's a large creature. So this creature is like maybe 8 to 10 feet tall, with long, shaggy arms. It's got, it doesn't have like much in the way of like clothing, except for like, it's got some kinds of like, chitinous sort of like plates, like in front. I couldn't find an actual thing with that because I'm trying to decide Yeti culture. So it kind of has like some chitinous plates like over its groin area, like right at its knees, and kind of like covering its chest. Like whatever it is wearing came from a large insect. But you see like the torso come out and it go, Hadukta? It just kind of starts doing this.
Hadukta?
And then it goes
Does
directly
Hardukta sound like any language that I might be familiar with?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, why? That's never a good idea.
That's about languages.
I would love for it to mean something in Orcish. That it just happens to have the same phonemes.
Yeah, no.
Like,
It's a 6. I rolled a 6.
You got nothing. Jack. You're like, maybe it's that thing's name. I don't know.
That's actually what I was thinking.
Can Whistler... Can I have Whistler, like, repeat it, but throw her voice so that it sounds like it's coming from somewhere else?
Sure.
So,
Again,
yeah.
vaudeville.
So you can go Hadukta.
From maybe,
This
like, over
thing
here.
has kind of, yeah. So it has disappeared back into the portal. And after you say that, it peeks its head back out and it goes. I'm making up a language on the fly right now. So I can, and it goes. Tiakti. It's like a deep growly, like Tiakti.
Tiakti? Also repeating it from that direction.
You guys, it doesn't seem hostile. Do you think maybe I should go try to talk to it?
It doesn't seem hostile, but there's definitely armor. I'm not excited to find out if it's angry.
Also,
You haven't seen the lower half of it.
giant
what?
spear.
It's also big. I don't want to deal with that, and it's cold.
I can offer
Now
some
you
beer.
guys see,
I can make beer in
you
the
see it
I've offered
step
a drink.
through and out of the portal. So now the full Yeti is standing there in front of you, wearing sort of like chitinous piecemeal armor, and you see slung on its back is a very
God, you're going to
sort of
explode.
rough-hewn bow,
The full
yeah,
Yeti.
a long bow.
I'm just gonna
I'm
scramble
say-
out.
okay, I've still got my shield out, and I'm gonna say, Robin, do you want to
Yeah.
try offering it a drink?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Whistler, do you step out of the woods? as
Yeah,
this
I'm-
Yeti walks forth.
I'm bad at plans, but I'm not holding my weapons, and I'm just kind of Ardukta.
I will say, as soon as Whistler does that, like Asper, like kind of does like the stumble and like flops on the ground, like kind of out of the woods and like kind of like shuffles back in.
So
Wait,
Whistler's
who's now in front of me? Oh, okay.
Whistler
Yeah.
is out in front.
So
So
I
Whistler
am
stepped out
following
and-
carefully behind with my shield.
Yeah, I mean, right
Okay.
to you.
Yeah, and this creature sees you and goes, huh. And just starts speaking in this low, deep, gravelly voice. You have no clue what they are saying.
I nod like I do,
And
though.
it's like,
I have that cup.
I'm going
Start
to
mimicking.
just start telling a dirty joke in Orcish.
Start cursing in Tabaxi, I guess.
And you see it start waving its hand, and it's like, Hastanana!
Astenana!
Hastanana!
Astena.
No, it wants us to come in there.
Asper, Asper's gonna come like within 10
Okay.
feet of the dude. Is that 10? Okay, wait, no, I have to do one more.
Sorry.
Yeah, like, Shaka when the walls fell, fucking Lodge, Kadabra, like, we're having a full-on, this is what's happening
So
right
as
now.
he's like doing that, Asper's going to cast like because it has a range of 10 feet. So Asper's gonna just cast Prestidigitation and make it like a little colder in like the area that he's in to kind of like try and make it better for him.
Quickly, and it goes, so you have this, like, blast of cold air, and it's still kind of, that cold air is still coming out, because he's kind of stepped out, and you can see his face, which is literally like this like pale gray, like colors coming to it, and it's like he's like 10 feet tall, just covered in this like white gray fur, got this large longbow, and is just talking at you folks in a language absolutely none of you understand.
Whistler is nodding like she does, though.
At Tenajar, I offered a cup, the cup of whiskey. I'm offering him, and I'm so little tiny. I'm only have this little tiny cup.
He bends down and like takes the cup like with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
You see him sniff it, and then you see his eyes go real wide, and he goes, "Understand about come over," and just downs it.
Hey!
And then he like hands you the cup back, and nods.
More, and I pour more and hand it. Friend,
Cool. Like, I mean, this thing is huge, and like this is like where it's like drinking out of a demi-tack for this thing. Like it's like just taking a shot of espresso.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a whole big cup. And it's like a shot, right? I'm like, yeah, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
friend.
He goes,
Is he like gesturing back
What
in?
did you say?
Is he like gesturing to go back into the portal?
Back in, yeah.
He's gesturing at the portal, and he's also gesturing out in front of you. Like, he's making this thing, like, it's like, if you would like to, you can make an insight check to try to figure out his mime.
We're making it too hot. We're making it too hot in his world, guys.
It's an
Our world
8.
is too hot.
11.
Insight?
Insight, yes.
16.
17.
Okay. Got an 11, a 16, a 17. Whistler?
8.
That was inside.
Insight, yeah.
21. Me and this Yeti are like
Vibing. Well, everybody
Yeah, one mind.
Everybody. So Jack, Aster, and Robin. You guys got a 15 or higher. Yeah, you get that he's basically communicating that he does not understand what is going on, and what is happening where he is from, and why he is here, and why there is this black thing that he's like basically going, what is going on? And that's just that's he's like making the air bow and arrow thing, and he goes Haskan and it's just like kind of
Oh, that I get. You were hunting, and then he came through here.
and then he like picks a giant rock up off the ground. It's about the size of a basketball, and he just kind of hefts it back in there, like hefts it through the portal, and he goes and then he like jumps through the portal. And he comes back out with like a giant like thing of ice. It's like a giant like basketball thing of ice, and it starts kind of melting almost right away. And he's like, and he holds it out to you.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it. It is very cold, and so like I can't hold on to it for very long.
Yeah.
And so like I take it and I'm like, oh, that's cold, and I like drop it. Like, ooh.
Yeah, it's melting actually very, very rapidly because it is like 70 to 80 degrees. So like the water of it is, and he's like, fell. Understand the word fell. It is the first word that any of you have understood that is fell.
Fell.
Okay.
So.
So Robin, and then I point to him. Robin.
And I say, so you gesture at yourself and you say Robin, and you point at the Yeti.
Yeah. Yeti, yes.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so like, Fenlin, gesture to myself, gesture at the Yeti.
Jakad.
Yeah, and then I go, Robin, and then I point to Jakad and go, Jakad. I point to Finland and go, Finland. And then I point to the Yeti and go, huh? Yeah.
Looks, he goes, it's kind of like, at his chest, he goes, Pilar.
Ilar.
Pilar. Tillarr.
Talar.
Pilar.
Talar.
Being the bard that I am, I have a plan.
Yeah.
So I am a performer. I can do improv. So Aster is gonna like kind of try and like improv, like saying that there's gonna be people coming to close the portal, so it will be cold for him again.
While you're doing that,
Performance. That's what I can do.
while you're doing that, I actually have painter's supplies, and so I'm actually gonna dig out my like some small little paintbrushes and the largest like rolled up canvas that I have, and I'm going to try and illustrate like the portal like starting small. And then, yeah, exactly. So, like, I start it small, and then I'm going. It ends up looking kind of like a small circle, then a bigger circle, then a bigger circle, and then the biggest circle. And then I'm going to draw stick figures because I draw nature. I don't draw people. And so I'm then going to paint stick figures and an arrow. And I'm going to paint those same circles, getting smaller and smaller until they're closed.
I got a 7.
Okay,
so
performance check
Aster-
from Aster.
17.
Yeah, 17. Okay.
Whoa.
So he kind of looks at you, and he. But while this happens, because I found this is like the best image of like a peaceful Yeti that I could find, so they're just going to be all of the same, but they're going to have different colors. So you see coming out of the portal is another Yeti. Kind of wearing the same sort of chitinous armor plates on their person, just in different kind of things. So like this person, and so out comes another Yeti.
Great. Do we have enough to field a football team?
And this Yeti, no, just the one color, not all of them.
All the colors.
That's the rainbow
All the colors.
Yeti.
And sexual Yeti.
That's the bisexual Yeti.
You don't know their life. This Yeti comes out, and this Yeti is carrying one of those giant spears that Finland is now like holding under one arm. And you see this Yeti come out and is like, goes, Padadasta. And Tilar, you know, goes, and it's like gesturing them, and they start having a conversation in Yeti. And Tilar goes, Robin.
And I bring a cup of whiskey to the new Yeti.
He goes, Dagon.
Hey,
Dagon.
I'm gonna show them my painting.
Okay. And then he points at the other one and goes, Asta na bata musna.
Musna.
I goes,
I hold
Musa
the
goes,
giant spear out.
yeah. Musa just goes, Harduk.
Ardu!
Ardu.
I'm totally just holding the spear.
Aster is still like doing the performance, like the whole thing, and like trying to
Yeah.
show them.
But
Well,
what has happened is Aster is doing a performance and Jack has created the backdrop.
It's like
Jack
like
is
the
just
whole
like,
last thing to do is like, so the whole performance is like play by play since like the meteor came. The whole thing is just like so this happened and then this and then that. Like the whole thing is what Aster is doing right now, telling them the whole.
you guys look behind you. Zareth is standing in the trees. He's going,
We've got performance by Aster, backdrop by Jack, concessions by Robin. Finland, what are you doing?
I'm holding a giant spear out.
The
Like-
gift, the peace
And
I'm
offering.
holding a giant spear.
Whistler is just looking so happy to be here.
So Rippler's over there like,
Whistler's the audience.
This is great.
Whistler's the great chorus.
For joining the Yetis?
Yeah.
God.
yeah. Whistler comes and stands over here and just watches. So Tilar goes, and takes his spear back from it. He does use him pronouns. Takes his spear back from Finland and goes, and that's that. And like slings it over its shoulder. And like puts it in like a little like, sling behind him. And he goes, and he like motions at the portal.
I'm getting to
And-
that.
stay here.
And he,
As soon as he gestures to that, Aster literally goes, "I'm getting to that." Like, the whole thing.
I point at the puddle that was the ice, and I just like point at us.
and he goes, he does this motion, and he like starts pretending to walk into the portal. Like he's like, that's Robin.
Okay.
Oh no,
Whistler goes immediately with Robin. Immediately.
Robin's
we
like,
can't survive.
here we go.
I'm going.
I'm fine.
Y'all,
Yeah, everybody else isn't. You have to think about everyone
Like,
else.
Robin, you are the only one that has a warm skin.
I just want to see. I'll come right back. I just want to see. I bet it's beautiful in there. I
We
just
should
want to
throw
look.
a party for
I'll be
sure.
right back.
Like, okay, Jack is actually like okay with this because like figuring you've got fur. These guys seem friendly. Please come back the moment your lips like are no longer the color that they are currently.
Are you worried about my lips, Jack?
That is not what I meant.
Oh, but that's what it sounded like.
Oh my God.
And Aster says that completely.
Well, maybe if they get cold, you could help me warm them back up. And then right into the portal. Right into the portal.
Bright purple.
Aster kind of just like, as soon as all that happens, Aster just kind of like sits on the ground and is like, well, shit.
Okay, this is my third place.
I will die if I go in there. Wait, what if can the Yeti help hold me? Like,
I just want to point out, we are from the cold and the very friendly whatevers they are, there are clearly very giant bugs in there.
oh shit, I just realized we shouldn't go in because there's people coming. Not all of us should go in, or I get rid of the phone.
Oh no, I'm just gonna wait for Robin to come back.
Okay. I want to go though now.
We wait here.
Oh, Whistler's gonna go with
I'm in
Robin.
Oh, can I look at the Yeti?
Yeah,
and do,
I
like,
figured
the
Whistler's
toddler
going in.
thing? Can I do like the toddler thing to be like upsies? Can I pick me up? I'm cold. I want him to pick me up and keep me warm when we go in there.
Okay. Who is going through the portal?
Robin, Whistler, and Aster, sounds like.
Only if they hold me, because I want them to keep me warm, because I will die. This is too cold.
Finn?
So Robin goes up and goes like,
I mean,
Oh, no, I
one
do
of
that.
us.
Yeah, do the like up.
I suppose Derek can stay here.
I don't trust him. No.
Dad goes,
What?
yeah, I'm not going through any more
We're
portals.
just trying to be friends
I
with
trust
him.
him to stay here and look at the portal.
I mean, should I get rid of the fairy fire so then they don't close it on us?
No.
No.
They could close it on us though, unless
But
they.
then-
What if we leave a sign that we are inside?
Okay,
I take
Robin,
a
leave
bit
a
of
sign.
the I take a bit of the
Everywhere.
fabric that I've been painting. I tear it off, and I just write a message like, "Be back soon. Don't close the portal yet." And
Derek just goes, I'll wait out here. Tell me who I'm looking for and tell him who I should say. Like, Derek's like, I'm not going in there.
The same people that showed up last night.
All right, I'll
Partially wait
keep
for
an eye
that.
out for them. Make sure you guys don't get shut in wherever cold fucking place that is.
Okay, but did the Yeti pick me up?
Not yet, because let me get to that. So is everybody but Zareth going in?
Yes.
I already went in.
Okay. All right. So the Yeti looks at you. The Yeti, whom you now know to be Tilar, looks at you, Aster, and goes,
Yeah, so I like do this to be like
Turns around
to mimic cold.
turns around, squats down, and offers you his back. He's offering you a piggyback ride.
Oh.
I mean, I'll still
Oh, I
be
should've
warm
held out.
probably. Cause yeah, I do like this where I'm
It's
like
not
think that I'll be cold, and then
Yeah.
I like do the upsy thing.
He's got very thick, long fur. Like, we're talking like this is,
Yeah.
polar bear or thicker, big, shaggy, double-coated fur. So you like, and
Okay.
you are much smaller
And
than
so like
he
kind of
is.
like worm their way like into the fur to be warm, and then like
And
hold on.
he's very large, so you see like Aster's hands like go over the shoulders, and you barely see like the tip of like top of Aster's head over his shoulders, just like burrowed into this soft fur. And Tilara goes, Musna, Aster, Musna, and Musna goes back in,
All right.
and
No way.
then
I'm
You
gonna say that in my pack I do have like some warm like deep skins.
and you
Man, none of us rolled an insight check, did we?
Nope.
We just went right in.
you come in and you find yourself on a frozen river. It is very slick. It is in fact difficult terrain. But both Tilar and Musna seem absolutely fine walking on it. And you see in the distance up here a very large, can only be described as a yurt, made out of thick animal skins, some of that same chitinous armor, and stone and wood. Up to the north, he kind of starts waving, and he's got Aster on his back, and he starts walking over. both Musna and Pilar start walking towards it.
I'm assuming that we're now going to go to their house for tea or something.
Awesome.
It goes,
Yeah. I'm carefully making my way, but also like I'm also kind of thinking if I sat on my shield, could I use it as a sled?
you want somebody to
I
pull
would say
you?
that because I don't want to give anyone in this group ideas.
Oh no, ideas about
So you
On
all
the back of the
carefully,
Yeti.
yes, you guys all carefully make your way across the scooting on your butts, however you feel most comfortable making your way across this ice. And I do not have the interior set up, but Musna goes, Manat, Musna Tila, Manat,
Manette.
Manat,
Nana.
Manat, Musna Tilar.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Nanette sounds like that's you're saying that that's your house and Tilar's house is over there?
Manat,
Nana.
Musna Tilar. And she comes over and she like comes over and holds Tilar's hand.
Aww.
It's like,
Oh,
Musna Tilar,
Oh, they're
Manat,
married.
Manat,
That's
Musna
their
Tilar.
house.
Oh, there's another one. Okay, your audio must have cut out. I apologize.
If you would like to, you can make an insight check.
they're nesting.
Insight or general intelligence, either one. I'm fine with you.
Oh yes, both my strong suits.
Translation. You do not own a universal translator, so because none of you have comprehend language sometimes.
11.
Boom.
9.
My luck is not helpful.
I got 16.
See what happens when Robin comes
Robin
back.
got 16.
And 16. Okay, excellent. That is high enough. You figure out that Manette, Robin is the only one who knows this. Manette meaning like house, home, domicile.
Yeah.
And she's basically saying, this is our house. And is like, they're guiding you to their home. As they walk forward.
So these two are together. Wink.
Inside, again, because I wasn't that prepared to have the inside of a Yeti here set up. But you see inside, there is a small stone kind of circle that has a small fire in it. And sitting around that fire are two smaller Yetis. They are your
Oh
size.
my god.
They are medium
Baby
size.
Yeti.
They're not babies, they are juveniles, but they are youths. But one of them is probably about to, like, just at 7 feet. One of them is just at jack height. And one of them is 6.5 feet. So they are young, they're not babies, but they are, again, teenagers. They are, somewhere between the ages of 13 and the equivalent of 18 in whatever Yeti years are.
I'm gonna take out some of my rations and hand them out and like take a bite and like over dramatize the yum and like offer it to the kids.
Yeah. So you see it in here. There are three there's actually a curtain. We don't know what's behind that curtain, but you see there are two like smaller bedrolls that are like next to each other, like on some padding. So you think there's probably the kids' sleep, and the curtain's probably parents' place. And bedrooms, they have their own bedroom.
This all seems very
And this
familiar to me. Like this is
It's
similar to how we live, except we have houses instead of yurts.
Yeah. So it's a very open concept. There's just like there's the kitchen area where there's like there's a hearth in the middle. There is a hole in the top where the smoke can come through. But there is kind of like a table, and you see as they walk in, both Tilar and Musna put their weapons in a rack by the flap, and they both go, Anasta.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my weapons in the same rack.
Okay, and
Like
so you guys can put your
nearby.
rack up, and you see the other two Yeti kind of look up and go,
Aster kind of like climbs more onto his shoulders and just kind of like waves from his back.
Hardook?
Harduk?
Arduk!
But you guys realize Hardook means hello.
Yes.
Probably shouldn't give whiskey to the kids, but
And
get off the pan, and I walk in and I offer my little paw up.
the smaller, the 6.5 foot tall, the smallest of the Yetis, holds out the same hand. So it's not like left and right. It's like, yeah. So like, basically, it's like you're going like this. It holds out.
Yeah, I take in both my paws and I shake and say, Hardook, Hardook, Robin.
And Dilara starts talking to the kids, and Musni is helping everybody. And Musni, you see, Dilara goes and kind of does this so you can get off of his shoulders, Esther.
I was so comfortable.
And starts talking to these juveniles, and points at one, the taller one, the 7 foot tall one, and goes, Hafni.
Hafni, take a nod.
And then points at the smaller one and goes, Kolo.
Colo.
Kolo.
Colo.
Arduk Kolo.
I think they said thank you at some point, so Aster's going to say the equivalent to thank you in Yeti, since they know they said it at one point. And then say Aster.
Say thank you is,
I think they had said it, so I'm just going to be like, Aster says it.
They did.
And says Aster.
To Finland.
Points. Yeah, for the square.
whatever it is, it's now Wolfstar.
Wolfdar.
Whatever I said, because I was Wolfstar. Whatever I said earlier, it is now Wolfstar. We're retconning it because I'm making up gibberish, and I'm writing it down on a piece of paper as we go. So you see these other Yetis.
Absolutely how language is formed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aster says that, and then points at themselves and says Aster. And then, is there a fire in here?
Yeah, there's like the fire that the kids are kind of hanging out around.
Oh, Aster's going to go join those children.
Okay, 2 things. Robin, you see the older one has what is essentially a piece of leather, and they are writing something. Like they have some sort of charcoal that they are drawing and or writing. You can't tell, but that's what they're doing. And Aster, the younger one, has a flute made out of bone that they are.
Do I? Oh, shit, I can play a flute.
They have a flute, like it's not a recorder, it's a flute made out of bone that they were just kind of like, well, I can't make flute noises, but they're just like playing a flute, but it's made out of bone.
Yeah, I'm showing. See?
Yeah.
Look, I show him. I draw too. See?
And the one that was shows you this image, and it's beautifully like done in grayscale because all they have to work with is charcoal on leather. But it's this beautiful like mountainscape with like beautiful shading, and like you can see where like the snow is falling and stuff, and they go, I can't draw it, so there's like
Jack is just absolutely entranced. Like that's her medium. Is painting on hides and cloth.
And takes out the loot. And from a
and the younger one starts going and waits for you.
Aster matches along with them. Does it back with the loot. Strum with the loot back.
Yeah, so you start jamming with this 14-year-old Yeti. And you look, and Musna is standing there with a kind of a pleased grin on her face. And Tilar looks at Robin and goes, Asta?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I take out the office.
No. He starts going in their.
Around.
He starts going in their cabinet.
Oh,
and pulls out.
Oh my god, you drink Yeti?
juice.
Pulls out a ceramic gourd-shaped thing, and asks you like, asks you like to hold out your cup. He goes, and he kind of gestures to everybody. And he goes, huh?
Sure. I pull
Ananda?
out yeah,
I have my mug.
Ananda.
my mug.
Aster declines.
And
Jack like looks at Aster and is like, "That's not polite."
I don't drink alcohol for personal reasons, so
I hear you, and like I'd sniff it.
Then
Is it alcoholic?
Yeah, it is. It
yeah.
is. It is Yeti fucking moonshine is what this is. This
Aster has problems
This
with
is-
drinking. So
this is made out of some hardy root vegetable that can grow in the underground depths of this plain, and it is mashed and it is fermented and it is thick and it smells exactly like something you essentially it's like parsnip moonshine. And it smells exactly like
smells like what I used to
parsnip
make
moonshine
my paintbrushes. Is what it smells like.
Exactly.
I feel like
Yes.
you can make medicine
now-
out of it. Like just so
And now we
good.
make a Constitution saving throw, right? You drink it and make a Constitution saving
Well,
throw.
it depends on are you guys like shooting this or are you trying to sip it?
Sip it.
Because as soon as it hits your mouth, it is like your
Now
mouth
it's
is
a
on
big drink.
fire.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
is
say like
your mouth.
Go.
Right? So
It is like your mouth is
like
being stung by thousands of fire ants.
very
Robin,
very
as the only one who took a full shot of this, yes, you do need to make a constant. Anybody who does not sip this, takes a full shot of it, has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sold.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I'm dead.
dirty 20.
Whistler.
Wow, Jack.
+2 con, and it's one of my proficiencies. So
Whistler got a
I'm
5.
sorry, drinking moonshine is one of your proficiencies.
Rolled a 2.
Constitution is. So yes.
Track. So, Jack, you take it. It burns. It is like drinking. It is like drinking bees. This is what you feel going down as you're being stung as the thing in your gullet. That's what it feels like for all of you.
I forgot about
Robin.
proficiency. I actually got a 12. I don't know if it makes a difference,
Okay.
but I actually got a 12.
It's less than a 15. So, but it's higher than a 10.
Yes, it is.
So, scale is like 15 to 20, 10 to 15, lower than 10.
Yeah.
So you and Jack, you are not immediately affected by this. Your head's a little buzzing, but the burning kind of subsides after about 15 seconds, and then you just kind of have a nice warm feeling in your belly. Robin, you are nearly instantly bleary-eyed, like
Yeah.
nearly instantly, like falling over and sleeping. Because you're just kind of like. Whistler, you pass out.
These
Whistler.
guys are great.
Whistler just falls on her head.
I just look.
Whistler just goes like a blank, just thunk.
I'm going to say Aster is kind of just like ignoring this and just still like just jamming out with the little kid.
For
Yeah.
3 seconds, I'm like ready to jam, and then I'm on the floor.
I
you-
totally am like
hey,
laughing.
do you
I
want
look
some
at Jack
colors?
and I'm like,
I got colors.
do it
You want
again.
some colors? You can have my colors. You could pay with all the colors of rainbow. You could do it. I could give you these colors. You got a lot of talent. You going somewhere. Take them.
And this kid kind of looks at you and goes, somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah, you go, babe. You going somewhere. Great. I should.
And
I
they
should
flip
get with my
to,
dealer.
they go back like near their bedroll, pull out like a fresh piece of like hide, and they start sketching passed out Whistler. Like you see them start in the charcoal, like they're doing the thing and they're like doing the figure or they're doing this and like trying to get the figure right, and they're like looking down at this passed out burned person on their floor. The floor is covered in like roughly it's not ice. You're not on ice. It's on it's like a stone floor, and then it's got like hides and some of the chitinous armor and like there is like some woven like wools and stuff like that.
There's an almost immediate bird snore.
I give my colors to the little one. I'm like,
The little one who is 7 feet tall.
yeah. Oh yeah, the artist one. I'm like, I should get. I got a great dealer in Lucia. I should be check out my art dealer. We should really take a portrait. You're so talented.
And then you see Musna. I have to go back. Musna goes, Uben?
Yeah,
And she pulls up, no, Uben. And she's got a pot. She goes, Uben? And she points at the table. She points at the table. She goes, Uben?
Like dinner, food. Food. Yeah. Food. And that's
Yeah,
what
that's
Asper's saying.
and Jack is like yes, and makes is using sign language as well, and goes and sits down at the table and is kind of like guiding Robin, like, come on,
We're gonna sit at the table. We're gonna eat high chairs.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, you guys basically have to go on your knees and kneel. Or like stand. I mean, they just have like benches. They just have like 2 benches on either side and kind of squeeze in. You guys can squeeze on a bench because you guys were pretty small.
I just pick Robin up and put them on the table.
Babe. Hey, babe, can you just, I'm vegan, don't make sure it's on me, okay? I'm vegan.
I mean, cool.
Did Robin just go, babe?
Yeah, they did.
I don't eat animals.
And I like you lean over the Jack and I lean over the Fenway and be like, yeah. I'm here for it.
Whistler has been abandoned on the floor.
Yeah. That was the first time.
Yeah, nothing's happening to her, but everybody else, like the kids are really excited. So
Fine.
here's this giant pot. Bowls are brought out for everybody, and Musna starts ladling this thick brown stew into everybody's pot. And she goes, Uben.
And I do my best to suss out what's in it.
Make an investigation check.
Roll.
Same. Aster does the same.
What happens when somebody who has grown up in a vegetarian 15?
Wait, what am I doing? What is it?
I
Investigation?
said you were investigation.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm just kind of like casually sniffing it. I'm not really good at staring. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it surreptitiously.
There is a mixture of like meat and like root vegetables in here. It's essentially a pot roast of like the slow cooked shredded meats in a gravy with like potatoes and carrots.
And I just like look at Robin and I'm like, it's meat. Do you want me to take out? Do you want me to? Is it okay if I take out the potatoes? Like, could you eat the potatoes?
Yeah, babe, it's so great. It's so
I-
nice.
So I take
don't
my
like rain.
Robin
I'm pulling out my meat and putting it in Jack's bowl.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what I'm doing. Is I'm taking the meat from both Robin and Finn.
It's totally that like thing where you get like salads and then
And he's
everybody like
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, like I already knew what I was doing laughing because like Fen and I have done this for forever, and so I just start taking the meat out.
Like the two teenagers are just like, are you scarfing it? And you see both Musna and Pilar kind of look at you and they go, just kind of oddly, they're not questioning it, but they're just kind of like, okay, that's weird. They're taking out the best part, but all right, okay.
I
Be that way.
I pick up what is clearly a vegetable and I point to it and I'm like smiling, and then I like grab some of the meat from Jax and I point to it and I'm like, I rub my stomach and I'm like, right.
So
And
you
I'm
see
just like sitting there like, oh my god, you're telling them that their food makes you sick, and I'm just like,
Pilar picks up
I'm
what
just-
is clearly
and
like
I'm
some
animatedly
sort of
eating the meat.
vegetable. And goes, and it's like this weird.
So what Tilar did,
Yeah. For those who are listening to
And
the
they got like,
podcast,
like longer canines, and it's like this. He doesn't really know, but he's just kind of like. He doesn't understand what your weird food customs are.
right.
Okay, but Sarah, for those who are listening to the podcast, can you please paint a picture, an audio picture of what you did?
Oh, an audio picture of what Tilar. It is like. He has it's the teeth are longer canines. Imagine like bear teeth, because they are omnivores. They are eating both fruits and like vegetable and meat. They are omnivores. So they have slightly longer canines though. Then we have a very bear theme going on today. We had owl bears and now we've got yetis, which I'm basing on like polar bears essentially, or like grizzly bears. So but the look on his face is just the best as I can call it, an awkward smile. Just like trying to match Finland's enthusiasm for the vegetable with a thumbs up and an awkward smile, and eating the vegetable with yeah. And the kids are just going for it. Musa goes, and gets up, and she goes and she brings out and puts in front of you. It's big, a large something in a like a crockery. It's large. It basically looks like something that was baked. It's got a crust on top.
Red?
I look at Jack in sort of you go try it, like,
Yeah.
you know, try it first.
Before Esther ate their food, they did say they do the thing like with the prayers and stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
like you do.
And so I don't have a like my knife is an eating knife for my size, so it's like this long.
Yeah.
It's not a dagger, and so it is clearly not
Yeah.
going to be big enough to like cut into this pastry.
Well, yeah. What you do is when you go through the crust, it's soft. There's something
Okay.
softer underneath. So there's a crust on top and something soft underneath. And when you pull your knife out, it is covered in like a blue kind of syrupy goo with some seeds.
I'm going to swipe my finger along the blunt part of my knife, and I just like, and I'm like, it's sweet.
It is. It's very sweet. This is like a frostberry cobbler essentially.
Oh, Finland totally digs in. Oh no, we lost Robin.
And Moose, Moose kind of. No.
Esther enthusiastically nods. Is like yes.
What is it,
Oh.
Wolf?
You
I want to say Wolfgar. What is thank you?
I don't know.
Thank you. It's Volstar. VULSTAR. Volstar.
Volstar.
I will take myself some, and then I will like kind of take some and like put it in like a thing to save for Whistler to try and like save some for Whistler when Whistler wakes back up.
It's over there.
Yeah, Esther's gonna like take it and kind of like wrap it up so that they can like save it for Whistler.
Some people have doggy
Okay.
bags. Some people have bird bags.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we're just going to end the night with you guys having a lovely meal in the home of Pilar, Usna, Hafni, and Polo, the wonderful Yetis who have welcomed you into their home on the elemental plane of ice.
I'm telling you, being friends with everyone is fun.
So sometimes being friends with everybody works, because sometimes there are sentient creatures whom you can't understand, but you understand food and alcohol, so there you go.
And we have determined that suddenly, I found out tonight that Orcish culture is slightly Fae-based in that it needs, like Fae in general, in that, like, hospitality is a big effing deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, did everybody enjoy themselves through
Hell
this?
yeah.
I tried. I love doing encounters that are non-combat encounters, and I wanted to have some non-combat encounters. Like,
Pax, I love that.
you have an owlbear cutlet, and you've met some Yeti.
I'm happy with
They
it.
seem to be pretty chill.
It helped me come up with some more stuff for, like, with Esther's backstory, so that's nice.
Yeah. So these Yeti seem to be pretty chill, are all about the hospitality, and the kids have some interests that mirror those of members of your group. So thank you all for listening and or watching, however you are consuming this media. Watch out for our December one-shot. Anika is going to TM it, and I'm going to play in it. Very
Yay!
I know, I'm going to be the player. I'm going to be a player.
And my wifey's gonna be in it.
Yes, we will have a very special guest, and this is very thematic. For those of you who are watching this who know Tanya's wife, this is very thematic on their characters. We will not tell you like what the theme is and all that stuff, because that's for dropping hints later. So thank you all for watching and or listening, however you're consuming this. Don't forget to support us on Ko-fi, and we have Patreon, and if you support us on Ko-fi this week, if you support us, the money that we make, some of the money that we make goes to Write Love on Her Arms. That's our charity for December. And thank you all for being here, my players and our watchers. So thank you all for being here. We will see you all again soon.
Hey.
Mwah.
Happy holidays.